Hi and good evening, everyone.
Don't make it so formal. Yeah, it's a very casual kind of thing.
Thank you so much for having me.
Are you good to go?
Students have, a restaurant, a nightclub, the student union offices.
For all the students who might be listening to this, I think it's a very, very important point. Hi and good evening, everyone. Today is a great day for us. We've got Kale with us from Nipissing University. Kale, hi, thank you very much and welcome to our office, to this very special podcast series that we are trying to have it with you. Welcome.
Thank you so much for having me.
So Kale, we have been doing a lot of podcasts where we are having specialists from all over the world. And we have been discussing a lot of very formal kind of stuff. But this time we thought that, let's try and take a different route altogether. To begin with, you just want to understand from you that if you could just start talking about Nipissing University, what exactly the university is all about, the place where it's situated, the lifestyle it offers for the students. So what exactly as a student can look forward to if anybody from India or the subcontinent is trying to go there and make their careers?
Yeah, absolutely. And thank you again so much for having me and hosting me in your beautiful office.
Thank you.
Really excited for any opportunity to speak to prospective future students, share the opportunities that exist in a place where I went to university. So I always tell the students that I meet, I'm the most biased person you could speak to. I loved my experience and I really want to share that with students. So Nipissing University is a primarily undergraduate focused university in beautiful North Bay, Ontario, Canada. We are on the shores of Lake Nipissing, situated between two freshwater lakes, Lake Nipissing and Trout Lake. The city is about 50,000 people. The university in North Bay is just over 5,000, and there's also a college in North Bay. So this is very much a university or college town, if you will. I always enjoyed that when I was a student because of the atmosphere it creates, the community that students will be a part of when they join. We're very much looking forward to welcoming more students from India and around the world to our campus. We have students from over 20 different countries represented on campus and from coast to coast to coast in Canada joining us. Obviously, a city of 50,000 people does not have so many people going to university locally. So that's a great strength, I feel, for the student experience, that students will meet other students who are in this shared experience of being away from home, pursuing their education, their accreditation, unlocking new opportunities for themselves upon graduation.
Wonderful. There are multiple questions though I have, but I would want to start with something like the culture and the community that the university offers, the overall city offers. So if you could just describe in, let's say, one word, how do you think the students perceive the campus and how they describe the campus per se?
We're certainly friendly, welcoming, in a beautiful natural environment. So in those ways, we might be different than what students have in mind when they think about a university being in a downtown core. Our university is surrounded by over 700 hectares of Canadian shield forest. So when you step outside the doors of your education center or the library or the athletic building or your residence, you're going to see a lot of greenery. We have over 20 kilometers of hiking trails that lead to a beautiful waterfall. So this is a unique environment for students to learn, play, and grow here.
That seems to be an absolutely natural ecosystem that you guys have developed, apart from the studies and everything that you guys offer. Fantastic. I think that's going to be of great importance for a student when he or she is taking a decision while making great career. Also, the next question that comes to our mind was, and these are the questions that we have collated by asking hundreds of students, that what exactly is there in our mind when they want to understand about the particular university. So can you share some tradition or some events that brings the students together at the campus?
Yeah, absolutely. So Nipissing, the word Nipissing is a Anishinaabe word, which is the indigenous people of the land on North Bay, before settlers came and named the city North Bay. So one tradition we have at the beginning of each semester is a welcome back powwow. But the word Nipissing itself and the Anishinaabe tradition, both the Dokis and the Nipissing First Nation that are in North Bay, something that students will find out very quickly when they join us on campus is every presentation, every ceremony usually begins with a land acknowledgement. something that's a tradition in Canada through the Truth and Reconciliation Commission, that we are telling the truth about the land that we've settled on, and we very much are privileged to enjoy being on that land, which is traditional territory of the Nipissing and the Dorkeys First Nations.
Absolutely. And I think the National Indigenous Day is celebrated to great extent in Canada, if I'm not mistaken.
Absolutely, yes. So this is a holiday as well in Canada, yes.
And it's celebrated pretty well. I mean, what's the scale of the celebration for that?
Yeah, certainly. So just behind the university, we have a pond, and the backdrop being, those hiking trails that I've mentioned. So students will gather there. There will be food, there will be music, traditional song and dance as well to have a real cultural experience.
The next thing that comes to our mind is that one thing that international students are often surprised with, in a good way, of course, is about the Canadian and the local culture. So, you want to throw any light on that?
Yeah, absolutely. So what students can expect is to find that. I mean, this is true of anywhere that you go in Canada. You'll find welcoming, friendly people. But I think it's just amplified even more so in a smaller, more rural city like North Bay, which is 3.5 hours north of Toronto, a big city. So that's another reason I tell students that, they can enjoy all of these benefits of being in a smaller place, like having no traffic, short lineups. When they frequent places, people will remember their name, but also access to the big city for global talent, concerts, performers that will, go to big cities that may not consider going to a smaller city like North Bay.
Wonderful, wonderful. So big. So, this was, I think, an excellent insight about the culture and the communities, how exactly, the other plays happening. Next, we would want to talk about, nature and environment specifically. So, North Bay is, you said, surrounded by lakes and trails. So, do you think that plays a very important role in students' life and shaping up their thought process per se?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that you can't go anywhere in North Bay without feeling that and it be part of your everyday life. I should also say that this is one of the places with the widest ranges of temperature anywhere that you could choose. In the summers, we can have days as hot as it is today in Delhi, 40 degrees Celsius. In the winters, we can have our coldest days be minus 30 degrees Celsius.
So that's the variation.
Wow. Yes.
So students are fully equipped to handle this kind of...
Absolutely, yeah. I hope that doesn't scare anyone. Of course, we take great care of making sure that students are prepared for the cold winters, but it's not something we shy away from. There are things that happen in the winter that are uniquely Canadian, as that students will absolutely get the chance to participate in and experience.
But I think that's a wonderful way of ensuring a student gets acclimatized to the overall environment. They were tomorrow once they make a career, they could be placed anywhere, and they're kind of inevitably crave to see the location that Nipissing offers.
It's a great point. Yeah, absolutely. I think it's a great life experience and something that they can draw on our future opportunities. That's a great point.
So, absolutely. And do you see the students becoming outdoor people once they have spent a few years there?
Right, some. And I would say that that's not a requirement. We're making this sound, and of course, perhaps my own bias is coming through here in that I very much enjoy these outdoor activities, but these are not mandatory to participate in. We still have, fantastic, maybe, something that students are thinking about when they are thinking about bigger cities. Those still exist in North Bay. So, you're not forced to become an outdoor person by any means, but if you do want to, then we have, fantastic outdoor activities.
Any memorable story you have in mind that you would want to highlight or you want to share with our audience?
For me, I grew up in a bigger city. So I grew up in the city of Ottawa, which is, over 1 million people. And my roommates had grown up in the GTA. So, in the most populous city in Ontario. And we were not exactly outdoor people when we came to North Bay. We ended up having an ice fishing shack. So this is something, again, that is pretty unique to a small kind of cottage, if you will, or city that's on a lake. So being able to walk from where we lived as students to a frozen lake and walk on the water is something that, really stands out for me. Being able to skate on frozen lakes, this is something that you'll definitely find in North Bay. And if you're interested in trying that, then there will be plenty of opportunities for it.
Awesome. Great. So, then we would want to talk about quickly about, beyond the classrooms typically, because that's kind of environment that's happening all over the world. What's happening within the classroom is of great importance, but what's happening outside the classroom is even more important. So what are the hidden gems if you talk about the Nipissing University, for example, the cafes, the music spots, or the festivals, if you were to talk about that?
Right, for sure. I would say the classroom, going beyond the classroom, like you just mentioned, is something that students should think more about and really ask themselves questions to reflect on the type of student experience they want to have. So of course, we're going to tell you about all the wonderful opportunities that exist in terms of undergraduate research, in terms of professors being accessible to you. One thing that definitely goes beyond the classroom is these relationships that you've built. So I mentioned previously the idea of someone knowing your name. A kind of cliche that you might say about Nipissing and the city of North Bay is that you will be a name, not just a number. But this is truly the student experience, and what students can expect to find when they come to North Bay is people to remember them, for them to be able to get involved, whether it be in clubs, societies, a different workplace where they might work while they study, their co-op opportunities, their internships. They will not just be a number, they will be someone that's really important to our communities.
And I think it's for all the students who might be listening to this, I think it's a very, very important point, because as a student, you get subsumed in the ecosystem. Your adaptation level, your understanding level completely goes to for a turnaround. So I think it's a very, very important point. And how does the university support students to explore their hobbies or other talents, extracurriculars, or something of that sort? So what's the university's role in that?
Absolutely. So we have so many different ways to get involved. So again, my bias might come through when I talk about outdoor activities, but there are some things that I personally weren't involved with. So students can really find their own niche, whether it be through our Nipissing University Student Union. We have a beautiful brand new building that students have, a restaurant, a nightclub, the student union offices, new study space. So students have the opportunity to create any club that doesn't exist or participate in the clubs that are there. And there's such a wide range of activities, ranging from, what students are bringing with them from around the world to share with other students, to, long-standing clubs that have been at Nipissing over decades that they can participate in, and these will lead to different opportunities, whether it's something like a party or an activity, all the way to conferences and research opportunities.
So this is very interesting. So our students are only to participate in one club, or they can choose from multiple clubs?
That's a great question, and they can certainly participate in as much or as little as they would like. So everyone is welcome. They will have that opportunity to take on as much as they feel they would like to, or that they can, outside of their more traditional scheduled classes.
Oh, wonderful. If we talk about inspirations and the stories that might have been coming up over the last few years, can you share a couple of success stories that captures the essence of Nipissing?
Yeah, these are all such great questions, and as you're asking it, I'm already having ones that come to mind. I've had the great privilege of studying at Nipissing and now working at the university. So for me, many of my peers when I was a student are just doing such brilliant things. They've gone on to medical school or law school. They're classroom teachers, they're police officers, they've started their own businesses. They've really, gone into these different places all over Canada and around the world. And for me, that's something that was so enriching for my experience, is knowing all of these graduates. Now, as an employee, I've had the privilege of seeing students come from across Canada and around the world to Nipissing. And I'll date myself a little bit, but I've been there long enough that I've also seen those students graduate. So I'm seeing them now take opportunities, even some students who have followed almost in my footsteps and have stayed to work at the university. So people that we've recruited that have studied at the university and are now working in our international office, supporting students or a residence building or a student union, and who have now even moved on to other post-secondary institutions after being co-workers of mine. So certainly some great success stories, and I encourage students to reach out to my fantastic team at the university to hear more about those stories, to read our testimonials on our website, and to really explore that for themselves.
That really makes sense, because having first-hand experience, suddenly changes your perception altogether.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. So, if you try and look back, and specifically you are an alumnus of the Nipissing, what would you want to classify as, or would you want to talk about that's the most life-changing experience that you experienced?
Certainly. So the faculty, so brilliant at the university. Of course, having an undergraduate degree unlocks opportunities for you. Being a publicly funded institution that offers honors level undergraduate degrees can allow you to become accredited in different areas. So if you're a student in our Bachelor of Science of Nursing program, becoming a registered nurse, our Schulich School of Education program, becoming part of the Ontario College of Teachers, students who have been through our accounting program, becoming chartered professional accountants, the list goes on. Social workers, artists, there are so many different ways that students have taken their education and then taken the next step, whether it be a graduate school, a professional school, a professional designation. So these really open up opportunities. But for me personally, as an alumnus, it was certainly that connection that we built with the professors, that the professors did know my name. They knew what I was interested in. They made great recommendations.
Okay, great. So if we talk about the programs that Nipissing offers, so what are the most, if we are to pick up, let's say top 3 or top 5 programs that students generally pick up. So what do you want to
I'm always so hesitant to give a top number of programs.
Most preferred ones, because that's what it gives us an idea to the students to kind of look forward in that.
Absolutely, yeah. So, we offer a wide range of programs through 32 different majors across Bachelor of Arts, Bachelor of Science, Business, famously the Schulich School of Education. So many different options, and I think students should also really consider what they are passionate about, what they're naturally drawn to and interested in, because obviously we are in a world that's changing very quickly, and the job prospects that these students will have will not be the traditional job prospects perhaps that their parents had, or that even I had when I graduated from university. So to keep an open mind is my best advice. And we have programs that will certainly set them up for success.
Great. And another thing that was there in our agenda, which is basically one of the lot of questions that we had received. So is North Bay affordable for students?
For sure. I would always encourage students that I'm consulting with to use the budgeting tool on our website, so the students can put in the cost of tuition. They can see what the average cost of rent is in North Bay, food, health insurance, all of their expenses on one side, and then of course any money that they have saved or support that they're receiving, any loans that they take, estimated amount of hours they'll be working while they study, so that students can be very confident about what it looks like month to month, whether they have a surplus or they have a deficit to address to make this dream a reality. So I always suggest to do that. In terms of the affordability in North Bay, comparatively to other study destinations, I would say it is very affordable. Of course, you don't have to take my word for this. The information is, publicly available. People can go and look at how much it would cost for housing. As an example, in North Bay, we're very proud to guarantee residence for students coming into our undergraduate programs directly from iSchool. So this is something that students can count on. They will have secure housing right on campus in some of the top ranked residences in the whole country.
And in what you mentioned is basically typically a part of the support services that university offers.
Yeah, absolutely. We're very focused on supporting our students. We put one of the largest percentages of our operating budget into student services. So a very wide range of student services. I wouldn't even be able to name them all, but a great place, especially for our international students to begin, is to come to our International Student Support Office, where our team would be happy to connect them with the vast amount of different student services throughout the campus.
So, the students who are based out of India or Southeast Asia, in case they want to have a one-on-one conversation. So, what do you recommend? What would be the best way of?
Absolutely, yeah. And that is something that we're very proud to be able to do, is we can serve you one-on-one. So whether it is before or during your application, our international and admissions team, or when you're a student at Nipissing, those international student support services that can also connect you to further services throughout the university, whether it be housing, whether it be career services, whether it be mental health supports. There are so many services at Nipissing and people who are friendly, welcoming, and really there to help ready.
Thank you so much for this detailed description. So what's the final verdict that you would want to give to the students, to the parents especially, when they're taking this, I suggest a life-changing decision, and it's not just a life for student we are talking about. Once a student gets with the right care, gets the right education, it's the generations that gets changed. So, what's your final verdict on that?
That's a fantastic way to end, and such a great question. For me, like I said, I'm obviously very biased. I would like every student to learn more about Nipissing and see if it's the right fit for them. But advice I leave every student with that I have the privilege of speaking with is to gather as much information as they can so that they can make the most informed decision. Upon receiving that information, for them to start reflecting and asking themselves questions. What kind of student experience do I want to have? What outcome is important for me? And if we fit a lot of those answers, then our team is here ready to help support them in their application, in their study permit application, and their journey to Canada. So I would absolutely be happy to connect with any student who listens to this and wants to learn more and be supported throughout their journey.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. I mean, this conversation has been really, really fantastic, and I think to the point, Chris, students would love to get to understand the information, and let's expect these guys to kind of connect with you and clarify their doubts, and we expect as many number of students possible at Nipissing. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. Have a good day. You too.